If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you don't like who you are right now. Or maybe you're just curious as to my theory on how to become somebody new. Well, it's not a theory. You're looking at the result of this practice. If you looked at the thumbnail closely enough, you saw a buzz-cut, skinny, fat kid. And if you met that kid, you would figure out very quickly that he's socially awkward. You can tell by talking to him he has a porn addiction. And he spends all day in his room playing video games and jerking off. That was me. At 16 years old. 15, 16, somewhere in there. I was a very different man from who I am now. I want you to understand this. I'm going to get vulnerable as hell here. But it's for a good reason. I want to speak to those of you who feel like you're broken. Who feel like there's nothing left. Who feel like there's no hope for you. Believe me, there is. Your foundation is simply cracked. Understand something. When I was at this stage in my life, I was a different man. My foundation was a victim's foundation. My life wasn't my fault. The fact that I couldn't get a girl wasn't my fault. It was all these modern women and all these crazy standards that they had. The 6 foot, the 6 figures, the 6-pack abs. I'm only 5'10". I'm ruined. The fact that I wasn't in shape was because of my genetics, which, by the way, my dad is freaking jacked. I always told myself I had my mom's genetics. I always blamed the fact that I never had the money that I wanted in life on the fact that we never won the lottery. Those are the only people that are really rich. Everybody else was just born into money. And that wasn't me. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. My foundation of who I was everything is everybody else's fault but mine. But mine. That was me. And one day, after my 3rd failed attempt at suicide, I was laying there, sick as a dog because the thing that I tried doing was drinking paint thinner. Stupid kid, I know. I sat there, and I thought, there's got to be more than this. There has to be. This can't be what my life amounts to. A switch had flipped. I don't know if maybe I did die and I was reborn or what the hell happened. All I know is I thought to myself, maybe it's me. And I kind of had a David Goggins-esque transformation with how I looked at myself. I looked in the mirror. I looked at my habits. I looked at who I was. I was disgusted. I jerked off at least twice a day. I played nothing but video games. I watched useless content on YouTube. I was a wreck. I couldn't talk to anyone really for shit. And what's funny is I worked as a host at a restaurant. But I was so damn awkward that I couldn't really connect with anybody. I could say the basic stuff and get people to their table, that was it. My charisma was not off the charts like it is now. Anywhoosie. I looked at who I was and understood that I had a mountain of work to do. I had to cut bad habits. I had to find things to replace it with. I had to change who I was. And it all started with that little switch from a victim's mentality to a winner's mentality. Now, what is the winner's mentality? The winner's mentality is simply my fault. Simply put, everything is my fault. Everything. Even factors that are completely out of my control. My fault. What did this do for me? This gave me all the power. Power follows the blame finger. If you blame your financial situation on the economy, it's the current administration's fault, and it's their responsibility to fix it. Nothing's on you. But if you blame yourself, all of a sudden, You realize, I'm not working enough. I'm not making a good enough income. I need to go for a higher salary job. I need to pick up a second job. I need to start that business I've been telling myself I don't have time for. I need to scramble. I gotta move. Power follows the blame finger. That was my new foundation. Ownership. My fault. Everything. And I constantly found ways to figure out what can I do to mitigate this situation, even though it's not entirely in my control. And I started doing those things. I started changing my habits. I started exercising my free will. Understand, if you're watching this, and maybe you've got some glimmer of hope now, if you're watching this and you're thinking I'm batshit crazy, if you're watching this and you already clicked away because I said that your life is your fault, indirectly, and now I'm saying it to you directly, if you are understanding what I'm putting down here, it is that you have the capacity to change your destiny. To change your life's outcome, to change who you are entirely by changing your choices, by changing the things that you do on a day-to-day, by getting rid of your bad habits. And by the way, this is not just a click your fingers and it's done deal. It took me 3 out of 5 years to get off of porn. It took me 2 years to quit video games. Since I was 16 and now I'm 21, I went through a monumental amount of change, but it took a long ass time. And it was hard and difficult, but every single day I kept telling myself, make new decisions. You can change who you are by choosing who you want to be and then understanding what goes into that. What are the small decisions that go into that? What are the things that your ideal self does on a day-to-day basis? I have it checked down to 4 things. Get outside, literally, be outside for at a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Train every single day without fail, learn something new every single day, and create a positive impact every single day. Whether that be through these videos and recording, whether that be through making somebody's day at work or just in public, whether that be through taking my friends out to go bowling like I'm going to in about 40 minutes. Those are the 4 things that I managed to do every single day without fail. What is your list going to look like? If you don't know, get to work. Start creating it. My name is Christopher Strobach. I get on here and I rant about anecdotal mindsets that I happen to have that I found are extremely useful to me. My hope is that what I said here is extremely useful to you. If you found any value in anything that I just said, the only thing that I ask is that you make use of it. If you want to connect with me, talk to me, or message me, my Discord server, it's the top link in the description. It is free to join. Feel free to join. Other than that, get after it, kick some ass. I will see you next time. I got really passionate in this video because this was a personal story. Understand that. Kick some ass. I'll see you next time. Said that twice.